we've outlined the marching orders for the week. Stop Bernanke. Bernanke is in danger of falling. His reconfirmation can be blocked. Congressional mood shifting decidedly against Bernanke. Mr. Wall Street personified. Endangered Democrats can hardly vote for helicopter Ben Bernanke. And in terms of Obama, if he wants to gain a little bit of left cover, a little bit of anti-Wall Street cover, economic populist cover, fire Geithner, fire Summers, get them out of the White House, fire the entire staff around Geithner at the Treasury. Don't worry, they've all failed. And go, yes indeed, ban proprietary trading, ban wild, risky hedge fund speculation by FDIC-covered banks. Now, of course, that's just the beginning. You can take a look on tarpley.net of the essay that I wrote in the night between Tuesday and Wednesday, right after the Massachusetts results. And this points to the fact that Democrats who want to survive had better take not a turn towards the center. Forget that stuff. Centrism is what Clinton did. That's when you say, yeah, we're going to abolish welfare, we're going to increase globalization, we're going to do a whole series of really smelly things. The worst things that Clinton did in some ways were how he tried to tack towards the center under the leadership of that awful Dick Morris. And you can see every night on Fox News what a guy Dick Morris is. No, don't do that. Go for anti-Wall Street. Attack Wall Street. You'll see it immediately helps you politically. So the other thing is, of course, drop this healthcare monstrosity. Drop it. Looks like they've already dropped it. Pelosi says she does not have the votes to pass the Senate bill. Now, since the 41 votes for the Republicans mean that Reid cannot force through a measure by stopping the filibuster and getting a vote, that means this health care stuff should be dead for the moment. Let's hope so. Now remember, the odious features of this are the following. The compulsion to buy an insurance policy from a private, for-profit, deregulated, rapacious insurance company is politically a monstrosity, constitutionally illegal. $500 billion of Medicare cuts are a monstrosity. That means death on a significant scale for older Americans. No death boards, and there are death boards. MedPAC on steroids, which is what's back in this bill. Like any board that has to do with controlling technology and realizing savings by denying care is a death board, a death panel, by definition. And of course, there's much more. Right now, we're told that the Democrats in the House are attempting to put together a populist package. Well, if it's going to be economic populism, people, you got to drop that mandate. In other words, drop the idea that you're compelled to buy insurance. That is a gift. That's the bailout of the insurance companies. That's the whole point of this, as even Howard Dean and Bernie Sanders have pointed out, picking up my slogan on this. The Obama health plan is a new bailout, not a bailout through the Fed, the FDIC, and the Treasury, and the TARP. The Obama health plan is a bailout of the insurance companies paid for directly by John Q. Public, Mr. and Mrs. America. So that has to go. At the same time, they say, well, the pre-existing conditions should be banned. Yeah, right. No pre-existing conditions. And, of course, they can't be allowed to take your insurance away once you get sick. But that should be a standalone measure. You can do that quite easily. Here we have Representative Bill Pascrell, Democrat of New Jersey. Break it into several smaller bills. Patient's Bill of Rights. Pass a Patient's Bill of Rights. That Bill of Rights must not contain any compulsion to buy anything from a private insurance company. That's a terrible, terrible mistake. If you do that, then you're not going to get any anti-Wall Street cover, as long as you're forcing people to bail out bankrupt insurance companies and with all their odious practices. Look at my program, tarpley.net. We need Medicare for all. Don't force anybody to do anything. Make them an attractive offer. Wouldn't you like to get fully funded Medicare for $100 per person per month? That's the current premium for people over 65. Make that available to anybody who wants it. Anybody who wants it. $100 per person per month. If you're destitute, unemployed, you get a discount, or you get it for free if you're really destitute. And, of course, families get a discount, unemployed get a discount, and so forth. And how do you pay for that? End the Iraq War, end the Afghanistan War, Pakistan War. Don't start a war in Yemen. Claw back the TARP from these gangsters, and Tobin tax. And we'll get to Tobin tax in a minute. There's motion in the Congress around the Tobin tax, and I'll go through the arguments on both sides a bit later in the broadcast. So, tax the banks. Yes, tax the banks. Go for Glass-Steagall. That's a good beginning. Then you got to go for more. You've got to go for a Tobin tax. You got to stop foreclosures. You should have a federal usury law, 10%, so they can't gouge you on your credit card. Ban payday loans if they're over 10%, and make that stick, so on and so forth. Now, in terms of the health plan, therefore, looks like this is blocked, at least for the moment. Good. The trick is, if you come out with a patient's bill of rights that says no pre-existing conditions and no dropping people, then you force the Republicans to defend the insurance companies. See, the big problem with Obama is he's gone with this Wall Street program, which allows the Republicans to sit back and snipe at it, saying, oh, you're for big government and so forth. Well. What are the Republicans going to do when we'll see what they're doing. As soon as Obama makes even the most timid move against Wall Street, the Republicans are either silent or they're out there defending Wall Street. Case in point, our dear friend, the cultural populist Limbaugh. Limbaugh today, trained, of course, in the Austrian school and the Milton Friedman Chicago school, protege of William F. Buckley of the right-wing CIA, and indeed sheep-dipped with Henry Kissinger. Today, Friday, the 22nd of January, Limbaugh says Obama is not just fighting the banks, Obama is raping the banks in the tradition of Mao Zedong. Obama raping the banks in the tradition of Mao Zedong. How about that? Goldman Sachs reports $13.4 billion of profit in 2009, a depression year, when there were 17 to 18% unemployment and underemployment. Goldman Sachs was raking in more than $13 billion, and they're in the process of paying $16 billion in bonuses. The average wages at Goldman Sachs, $500,000 a year. Right? That's more than 10 or 12 times the average wage in the United States. And Limbaugh thinks that Obama is raping the banks with this timid little return to a long-standing regulation. Limbaugh says, you can't have reform, you can't have regulation. Regulation means nationalization, and on and on and on. The cultural references are unbelievable on this. So Obama defends Wall Street tooth and nail. Now, at this point, that's a loser for Limbaugh defends Wall Street tooth and nail. That's a loser for Limbaugh, and it's a loser for Republicans. The response of Boehner and McConnell to Obama talking about stopping this proprietary trading, almost non-existent, and the Wall Street Journal editorial of today, Friday, is cautiously supporting the idea that there should not be this moral hazard by having hedge funds and banks under the same roof. Back in a minute.